Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday, and welcome to another Disco Elysium stream after what feels like several years. Welcome Sage, Zin, Summer, and anybody else who's hanging out and lurking. It is lovely to have you here, as it always is. Sage, I can't believe Sage has abandoned me in my time of greatest need. But yeah, welcome, and I hope that we're gonna have a fun stream. I hope I'm going to remember any of the things I was doing. I think there might have been a murder involved at some point, but I'm not confident in that. Anyway, let us switch over to, I still say, one of the greatest games I've ever played. Okay. Notebook, help me. Find the Insulindian Phasmid. First, restock the trap you left empty. The trick is to remember which one it was. Sir, it has been several thousand years since I have played. That is unfair. Ask another about the victim, about the tattoo's possible meanings. That's, not a lot. Joyce wants to tell me something. You just have to present her with your badge. I have a badge. I have a badge. I can go speak to Joyce. The Jam Mystery. That's what I did. Chat, that's what I did. I found out who the lady driver is without having to be mean to Tommy. That's how we ended last stream. It was very exciting. There we go.
This screen found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying.
We pressured him pretty well. I don't think he was lying. Try to peek in the window.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and two steering levers.
Try the door handle.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
Oh, interesting. Because the rest of the truck, they said, is in not a great state. So the fact that the handle is replaced means she does want to keep people out of her truck.
There's no picking this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design.
Are we gonna get this open, Cam?
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside.
Really?
This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
Smash the window with the pry bar.
With a firm grip, you
Hell
raise
yes.
the pry bar. A glint of light catching on the tip. Call down the hammer of truth and justice.
My truth
Release
stick.
your secrets, Lorry Cabin.
Option 2 is amazing. Oh. I'm not going to choose it because I'm trying to be one of the handful of good cops. But that's just such an amazing option. Welcome to Revachol, window.
The window shatters and droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement.
Subtle.
Says the lieutenant, and sticks his hands in the window, like a common car thief, and then opens it.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters.
Interesting.
Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Admire the posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century.
Okay, interesting.
One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
Is that smell?
The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably grenade number 5.
Study the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't put your finger on whom exactly.
Interesting that that was success. But I can't put my finger on whom. That's interesting.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Let's check out that radio.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent.
Oh,
It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together.
Why would anyone need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example.
Yeah.
This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too.
And all run out of a single truck.
A 20-kilometer radius at least, perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
Is there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
What else is here?
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat.
Check the pedals.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle.
For better grip, maybe?
Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Hey! Even my himbo brain could figure it out. Looks like the driver has glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
Sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right boot sole.
Yes?
He likes where this is going. Because if you remember, Ruby, the other member of the Hardy Boys, was missing, had a completely smooth right boot sole.
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
One of the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
Wait, Ruby?
Looks like her, yes.
She's also the one running the drug trade. What a handful.
This looks like proof the missing 8th person at the lynching was Ruby. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
This is a tough one. Because honestly, no. Hardy is a lot of things, but I don't think he's interested in drugs. Not necessarily. Ruby could have kept the drug trade a secret.
You're right. But we should still go and see what Titus has got to say.
Oh,
about
definitely.
it. Are we finished with the lorry?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console, and a faint smell of perfume is in the air.
Let's check out the toolbox.
A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Well, that was slightly disappointing, but let's check the newspaper.
It's an issue of Periphérique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Last Wednesday is not that long ago. Pick up the note.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover, but they give you a headache.
Yeah, that's just being a himbo and looking at maths. Nothing unusual about that.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest.
No more
Close
toolbox.
the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Yes.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
It does.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
Worrying indeed.
And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
Yeah. Something seemingly unrelated did give us a clue. What about the movie posters? How did they factor into all this?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
But I want them to be.
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
A lot of women there, especially for a lady driver's cabin. I think that's less the issue. Maybe the trader is some sort of cinephile?
Yes, well...
Unimportant.
So it turns out this is connected to the Union.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition.
Will the RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it.
Nice, Kim.
There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Okay, debrief over?
Debrief over. After you.
Thanks, Kim. Now, they mentioned that one of the actresses looked familiar. And we've only heard one person talking about old movies.
The woman is still hunched over the railing, her head swaying to the music, her eyes looking at nothing in particular.
I want to see if she knows anything about it.
What is it? What do you want?
Nope. Eh. Oh, I have to go this way? Fine. Got a minute? Anything for you, Tommy.
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
The racist told us where her cabin is. We only searched it.
Still better than me, I guess. Told you there's plenty of others who tell on her. But is she in trouble?
I am going to reassure Tommy. At present, there's no investigation, so at present, she's going to be fine.
Oh man, that's like a load off my mind. All that stress was messing up my rhymes.
What's the plan with those rhymes anyway?
Oh, you know. Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft.
Why Tommy Laham?
Tommy Lam was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better.
You look like a Tommy to me.
It's more him.
Alright, I had another question, actually.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Oh, I do not, in fact, have another question. Okay, Joyce. You can stop being awful. That's a lie. She can't stop being awful. Can I do anything more with this?
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
I'm rolling the dice, chat.
Yeah. Why? It's a wall. An ordinary wall.
Damn it.
Why must we stop to look at this wall every time we pass by? We have business to attend to.
Him, you don't understand. There's something about the wall.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
They really don't, Summer. I spoke with the lorry man at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Wait, where exactly are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
I like you less and less, Miss Messier.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the slight glimmer in her green eyes tells you otherwise. The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
No. No, I'm barely conscious, barely sober. Let the lieutenant handle it.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
What was that about, a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
That seems difficult to believe.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
I stand corrected.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
I've already heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike, but I need your testimony.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
How's that going?
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
I'm assuming trauma and stressor disorder is the in-world equivalent of PTSD.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him.
Ah, but we know that that's not entirely true.
He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
But then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now?
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
Oh, that's not ideal.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
That's less ideal.
It'll be all of them. The decision is already made.
I have to say, this is not disco.
It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
Ice Mage.
They would have to project strength and power.
The Debarder have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Yep.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
Problem is, the 2 men will be heavily armored, heavily armed.
These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
As I said, a bloodbath.
No, no, we do not talk about the Great Bloodletting. Harry, we've spoken about this. Can't see it happen. Too many things would have to go wrong first. No, the thing is, I do think the confrontation is inevitable.
It doesn't have to be like this, Lieutenant W. Frater Dubois.
Oh, so you knew who I was all along?
One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
What can you tell me about Crenell?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Yeah, so the worst kind of mercenaries.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
Did you contact the company? Tell them to call them off?
I have. and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
You said the deceased assaulted a woman?
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Who did the passing on then?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
What did these teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
We know it's not entirely true.
This does not come as news to us, but still. To your knowledge, where did this assault take place, if you know?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too.
He was, but so was she, and it was entirely consensual.
Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
By which time he was already dead. Yeah, I'm not going to mention it. Who was this woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
This colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive, yes. But I did not know him.
You don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her voice. But she had sympathy for this man.
You liked him?
Liked is a bit strong. He was the most charismatic among them. He handled all the talking. His departure left a major gap in the group's communication skills.
His name was...
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Tell me about the others first.
One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
A female radio operator, and we've just heard about the woman driver. Probably a coincidence, but curious nonetheless.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
There's a pang of regret in her voice.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body, and Classier also mentioned it, I believe. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Must be hard to force your face to move in a new fashion. If you continue like this, you'll have an aneurysm. Then you'll have to.
Where are the remaining two mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth.
I got teeth too.
They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
We still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Ooh. Why is my logic so good? My logic's only 4. Yeah, she's... I may not like her, Smage, let me just say that. But also, in terms of professional, I'm not much of a professional either.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates.
Correct.
The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise.
I don't trust her. I understand why people like her. I liked her in my first playthrough. I just don't trust her. She is not here to make things better. She is here to protect Wild Pines. That's all.
The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
One must be the goon in ill-fitting work clothes by the harbor gates, the scab leader.
That may be so.
She's
I still
poised and
hope you heed my
unperturbed.
advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
That's completely valid, Smage.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
Hell yeah, Kim. One is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout.
Would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a shortwave at the ship's wheel.
I had another question for you.
I hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative. It's a matter of days, not weeks.
That's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Can you tell me about these tattoos? Show her the photo.
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
We're making progress. Hello, Josh.
For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a Trigat not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Stay quiet, observe her expression.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver. Has she seen dead bodies before? It's likely.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like stars in the sky?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What's the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Where is he now?
I've spoken to him. For now, the soul is fastened inside the corpse. It was a dream, but it's a good line.
That is precisely what the sailors feared when they drew these maps. A fear of drowning within one's own corpse.
What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Redfort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
What is that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Inter-Islary Age.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor. And these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture.
Hello, Chris.
This man was their friend and comrade.
It could go this or the other way. Maybe if you're tactful, it could be beneficial.
Ooh, that's a risk.
Challenge accepted. I say we do it.
But I'll mark it down. I need the information.
Do what you have to do, Detective Dubois. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
We will be careful, ma'am.
That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
That's all for now. Boy, I'm actually making progress. I don't think there's any way I can replace this lost bull, unfortunately. First has a sippy cup. Okay, let's go speak to Titus. Chris can have a little sippy cup if she wants. As a treat. God, that's a cool name, Josh. I mean, every part of that is cool. Ooh, that does sound nice, Chris.
What is it?
Good lord, that's a shockingly high chance of presenting a solid theory about why Ruby could have done it. Like, a shockingly high chance. There are other things I can follow. But chat, if you're willing to boost me, logic is intellect. Why is my logic so good? But if you're willing to boost my intellect, I want to try doing this with pure logic. I want to see if I can succeed on a supposedly impossible roll. That's, of course, only if you're on PC, I think. I'm not sure how well extensions work on mobile still. %72% chance. I'm rolling this.
A sudden
Yes!
flash of lightning in your neocortex.
Oh.
The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze.
That's fine, Josh.
Floor plans,
We still got the
route
boost.
trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
It's fine, Chris. I don't need to punch at the moment. A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. So this is when a himbo has one single thought. Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him?
So that's what you were squinting at. You were trying to come up with a theory, weren't you? That she did it.
Yeah, he was cobbling together shit so he could put her away. It's RCM 101.
Damn it, Chris, you're right.
Well, let old Titus set your mind at ease then. She didn't do it. She was here all night.
We already know that that's not entirely true.
Sunday night, 11:30 to 12:15. She was here all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
She didn't go out for fresh air for one smoke?
No.
In the whole 45-minute window, she was with you all the time.
All right, she took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has a complex operation to run from her lorry. She's a busy girl. Always has been.
You mean the drug trade? Don't worry, we'll come back to that.
You know this already. It all fits together. Ruby, the missing Hardy, was present at the hanging and running the drug trade.
Just because she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot the merc. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
You do agree the shot came from the roof, right?
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
There is a secret route in the kitchen that leads straight to the roof.
How?
Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop.
People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Weird? How? You're wearing the pinball maker's coat.
I'm gonna ask, what do you mean weird, Theo?
Was run by a fella called Nerflock something, who wore a yellow dust coat like the one you have on right now. Weird guy. Never liked him.
Well, that's just mean.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
Ah, but there is an elevator in the back room.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop.
Good one, Kim.
Thank you.
From there, a door leads straight to the roof. You can just step outside.
Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it?
Have you noticed the winch out back on the outer wall of the whirling?
I've seen the winch. I'm not blind. You saying it's part of the elevator she used to get up there?
That's right.
That's wall mystery down then. An architectural mystery. Doesn't much concern Ruby, does it?
Man, Chris, me too. Pinball is so much fun. I also found footprints upstairs in the old workshop.
Footprints. Recent.
Recent. A week or two.
That close, huh? How fortunate. I'll take a thorough look at those prints myself before I believe that cop. Good news is, I'm still listening.
I don't know why it's relevant, but I'm going to tell him that there were operational pinball machines.
Right. What the fuck does that got to do with Ruby?
What if they were somehow connected to the murder? A pinball murderer.
God damn it, Cobb. Are you kidding me? You know it was no goddamn pinball murderer.
Just a thought experiment. Let's go on.
Guess what? Remember that key I found here?
I don't like guessing, Cobb. No one does.
It opens the steel door in the kitchen, the one that leads upstairs to the roof. This key was right here, with you, all the time.
I don't know what that means, Chris, but it sounds fancy. You didn't find it, but Ruby did. That's how she got up there.
Quit jumping to conclusions, Theo. You took that key. Did it look like it was recently put there?
No, the ribbon was old, faded. It had been there for 20 years at least.
She could have just put it back there once she was done.
Why? This doesn't make sense. It's damn interesting, but it doesn't fit well, and you know it.
It doesn't fit well, but it fits, and he knows it.
Have we firmly established Ruby could have had access to the roof where the man was shot?
Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established.
Oh, that's really rad, Chris. I must check it out.
But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt, in the shape of a gun.
I've analyzed the bullet that killed him. It was jacketed.
So it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder weapon was military grade, how did Ruby get it?
Just because it's rare doesn't mean you can't get it.
Cobb, that's exactly what it means.
That wasn't strong.
Show them the antique rifle. There are weapons like this just lying around in Martinet.
That looks antique. A Belle McGrave. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it?
There's a cellar under the bookshop. It was hidden there, with others just like it.
20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too.
God damn it. We need to close that dump down for good.
That's a goddamn breech loader, too. Find one that works, and you got a military-grade weapon that shoots jacketed ammunition.
Correct.
He sees it. This is coming together. He must.
That's why I started with that point. It's a weak start, but it's a good continuation. I didn't say I'd prove she had the murder weapon. Just that we need to find her.
All right, Cobb. Keep talking. I'll tell you when I've had enough.
Pete, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3, motive. The last component.
It's not why did she kill him. It's why did she organize the cover-up.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
She could have just been covering up for herself, Titus.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Thanks, Chris. I'll look into that.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
So who do I put it on? Shanky is the weak one of these three. Shanky, let's assume you killed him.
I didn't do it, fucker. It wasn't my plan.
You probably did, though.
It's just a thought experiment. Think, Shanky. You killed him. You got up there, shot him, got down.
Would you prefer to go on trial with your buddies as part of a lynch mob, or alone for committing murder?
Fuck you, man. I would never fuck my guys over like that.
She didn't either. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
There we go.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good.
Titus, you have to see it. Things don't add up. We need to talk to her.
Silence. He looks around the room.
Oh, Josh, that's such a gremlin face.
The old man in the corner nods.
Yeah, Theo is a very powerful member of the group.
A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. This is the only option he cares for.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want.
Hi, Zach.
I don't know. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She was smart.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
I've got 3 skill points, which I'm keeping for when I need them. When did she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
What was she scared of?
I told you. You.
Me as in the RCM?
No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
I don't have sideburns anymore. It was a terrible mistake. She probably knew me from my singing days.
Yeah, that's real funny. She wasn't laughing, though. You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I get you done, apparently. What else did Ruby tell you about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes, and that you won't stop.
Seemingly accurate.
Never. Not until the case is solved. And then the next case. And the next.
Hello, Stitch. She's right. I won't stop.
Not until you have something on her. She says she's heard of you from Jamrock. That you're a human can opener. That you play suspects against each other. Open them up. Like cans.
I did it to you.
And then when they're all empty, just move on. Onto the next can. Don't look back unless there was something you missed.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it. Whack him. Or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods.
Is that true, Kim? Am I a can opener?
You are insistent.
Anything else? Anything?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This called Titus. This called Pete. But she was too scared.
Maybe she's my ex-wife.
Scared? You should be too. A strange fear creeps over you. A metallic taste in your mouth. Change the subject.
That's creepy.
Everard's file on you seemed thin on info. She must know from somewhere else. From Jamrock. Something more.
That'll only piss him off. He's not going to yap about it.
Of course, I should have known. Concentrate on tracking down Ruby.
You know, do you have any clues on where Ruby went?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good
Useful.
fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
You might be surprised.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
Have you looked for her?
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlock. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Can you tell me where on the coast I should start looking?
Sure, there's some shit houses there, a cinderblock town. The fisherfolk there refuse to unionize, so that's one place we haven't looked.
Useful?
I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish, hair's red, dyed. She looks like a Lowry man.
You know what she's doing with ULAN frequencies?
The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a pale emitter.
Oh, we've heard about the Pale, but not in a lot of detail. That's an interesting thing.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing ULAN frequencies at a pale something. I don't know more.
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
There you have it. Pale something.
Not much, but it'll do.
It'll have to.
Shake his hand.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite.
I would never bop you, Stitch.
Not just granite, tightly packed RCM Sergeant material.
You should be a cop, Titus. This is what a himbo would say.
When are you gonna get it through your dumb head? I already am. I just wasn't sure you were.
You know what, valid. I wasn't sure either.
And he still isn't. People aren't afraid of good cops in the way Ruby was afraid of you, he thinks, then turns back to his men.
Stitch, you're incredibly buff and handsome.
Call the Mama Dakwa.
This is the sentient sound
It's
wave?
not only your eardrums that register sound anymore. Your very skin has become an organ of hearing. Looking for a whisper, light and low. A god who's very, very silent. Nothing escapes you. A cockroach in the other room. A candy wrapper falling on dry grass. A drunk falling from a chair in a bar 20 meters away. In fact, you haven't heard the Col du Mama Dakwa, but you have discovered that you have amazing hearing. It must be the only part of you the alcohol hasn't drowned out. Keep listening.
+3 perception? -1 encyclopedia. That's fine. I don't use my brain. But +3 perception is an incredible bonus. That is a monumental bonus. I have 7 perception now. That is very good. It's a bit of a cozy stream, Stitch, so I think a lot of people are just hanging out and maybe have it on in the background. Okay. I also wanted to call about the dead man. Call a library.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Well, duh, Smage. That's how this game works. Pick up the radio again.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Connect me to Jamrock Public Library.
Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to the librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist. This is how people get when the police call.
Yeah, I get that. I'm looking for information that you can provide on Billy Mejean, a reader.
Billy Mejean, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Mejean's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Yes, home address is fine.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
Shivers is cool because it's like mildly psychic, I think, which is really rad. Cape Side Apartments. Those are the ones just across from the Whirling.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
Apartment 20, is that his? Do you have any other information on Billy Mejean?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day.
Do you know someone who was?
Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Mejean? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
You hear someone answer from afar.
Maurice, what? A woman yells. Then, yes, okay. If it was the police, she starts explaining something.
Perception, challenging, success. You know why that happened? Because of my +3 perception is why that happened. My roll would have been 10 otherwise. But now I can hear magically through a phone.
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87. But we don't have it yet.
Good. You have a name now.
So Billy Mejean is a woman, not a man. How did your husband know that it was her husband?
Marie knows
Your
Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
And then goes for a little drink later. On the lookout.
Do you know the husband's name?
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight.
Can Marie describe to me what the husband looked like?
Marie? She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him.
Yep. What was he wearing?
1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
Still, that confirms who it was. Thank you, that's all from me. I have no other questions.
Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me?
I'm done with the radio for now.
57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a...
You see, I like in this game when I feel vaguely competent. It's not common, but it's a pleasant feeling. I just want to pop into the pawn shop.
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Do you have any recordings of the Col de Mama Dakwa?
The Col de Mama Dakwa? Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds, for that matter.
I have hobbies, just like all normal people, because I'm a normal person.
Oh, I didn't mean to imply otherwise. Well, it's been a while since I've gone hunting for the Cold Imamadakwa myself.
You've been hunting for it? I'm so glad I came in here.
Once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play music anymore, and started looking for all kinds of interesting sounds instead. This was before, you know, lost touch with them after all of that.
That sounds so cool.
Cool or not, one of them was obsessed with recording the Cold Imamadakwa, and he was one of those passionate people who know a lot about all kinds of strange things, so he got the rest of us to join in his search.
You are right to, Smage. Roy is really cool. Did you ever find it?
We thought we did. We got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns, compared them, cut them up and combined them into the Symphonia Cold Imamadakwa.
Can I listen to it?
Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life. None at all. But I do have a tape with some ultrasonic sounds that might be what you're looking for.
This is not where I expected this conversation to go, but I'm loving it.
Do we really have time for this?
Yes, it's absolutely necessary for my research.
This recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific. Just left a recording device there one morning. Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200 kilohertz audible to the human ear.
Makes sense.
It will be strange.
He switches on the tape player. The speakers begin to emit a low hum.
As the hum grows louder, modulating but always unnaturally uncomfortably low, like it's coming not from the speakers, but also from inside your chest. Breathing is becoming difficult. That's an illusion. Your breathing is just as it was and will remain that way unless you start panicking.
Hell yeah, endurance.
There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you, but also surrounding you. It feels as though someone is standing just outside of your range of vision and watching you, doing this to you. He nods to you, reassuringly, just as more diverse, higher-pitched sounds, some random, some appearing to form patterns, hit your eardrums. Seabirds most likely, gulls and such.
Seagulls?
And skewers, but
He raises a pointer finger and inclines his head toward the speakers. A new high-pitched shivering sound.
That's it. The signal in the noise. The thin whisper. A low range of sounds is easier to handle with a focal point, but still troubling. You are mesmerized by the sounds, but also feel nausea welling up as the motif continues, then begins to recede, dissolving in what must be the sound of water lapping at the bank.
you know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the Cold Imamadakwa. Wrong patterns, wrong photons. Probably some insect trying to sing higher than its predators can hear. Still, fascinating, aren't they? Early morning sounds.
Be some insect trying to sing higher than its predators can hear. That may also be interesting. Anyway, that entirely didn't go the way I was expecting, so thank you, Roy, for being an unending source of interest, if nothing else. Okay. Let's see if we can find a ruby, and let's see if we can find a phasmid. It wasn't this trap that was in. Yes, mage. Phasmid. Do you know anything about a ruby?
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards.
I'm looking for someone else, actually.
Oh? Who?
Looking for a suspect who might have stayed in this neighborhood.
Okay. When did this person stay here?
Very recently, over the past few days. She might have arrived on Friday.
Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning.
Really?
Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
No, that's good for now.
How can I assist you then, officer?
I will one day ask her for that date.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around the coast?
Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
Okay, but do you know who I'm talking about?
This is my little cinderblock town. I know what goes on around here.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other.
This isn't about the Union, you know. You don't have to worry about retaliation.
Ah, I should have known. This is yet another Union mess. I'm not afraid of them, you know. We are not in the habit of being afraid around here.
Enough of this. She better start talking right now.
I see. You know something, but you've decided not to tell us. I'm not going to be aggressive with her. She's an old lady.
There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too.
I found this jacket, but it's filthy. Could you wash it for me?
I can wash it for you, but it's going to take about a half an hour. Think you can stay put for that long?
It's still early days, sure.
Hell yeah. No, we must run around ceaselessly. It would be torture to stay put.
I could use a breather before another rainy day begins.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Well, hand it over then, and I'll see what I can do.
I love Kim.
Must say, I'm proud of this one. It's pretty nice underneath all that filth. I hope you'll have an easier life in your hands.
Oh, thank you. Increases pain threshold and half-life, but decreases drama? That's not actually awful. Oh my god, I'm still not wearing pants. I entirely forgot about that because I've got a big jacket on, but I'm still not wearing pants. And I think it's important to emphasize that. As good as the big jacket was, it hid the most important part of my character development.
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others.
The board aside.
Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
What's in there?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea.
Search through the sand and sawdust.
You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then something hard wrapped in paper.
What is it?
A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet.
Well, that is curious. The bullet, interesting.
The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with. It's extra ammunition. She's locked and loaded, ready to fight some cops. Holding the bullet, you get the feeling this isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Why was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack?
Damn that girl.
A bullet?
The lieutenant turns to you and gives you a little nod, then turns to the washerwoman.
You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
You rented the room to her?
Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl.
She speaks slowly, wringing out a rag after a long silence. Her hands move into the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge.
As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
She has made that clear, to be fair. When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before. But this seems different.
That's for the police to find out. Right there. Please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
You said she left on Monday?
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Is there anything else?
No.
What is she like, Ruby?
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
Why do you think she left the bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
She looks back toward the shack, thinking.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I have a possible explanation in mind.
Aye, do tell.
A seagull flies overhead, obviously a bad omen. It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
Her life.
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
Okay.
Not a quitter, like you sometimes get, son.
Did she have any technical equipment with her, like radio stuff?
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape millions she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
Where did she go?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north. You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
Yeah, but I found things no one expected, so...
I wouldn't worry about that, man. We are persistent.
Further up the coast we go,
Are you
then.
sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
The fell electric neuron. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
He looks around. The air is getting colder.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
Well, she's clearly sincere. Okay, I can just talk to Gart about this at some point today. Locate a working firearm that shoots 4.46 ammo. Don't have that yet. Okay. I must talk to Kuno. I must go to the apartment. So I've got several things to do back in... back on the mainland, so that's easy. Restock the trap you left empty. I must still confront Hardy about the drug trade, speak to the scab leader, ask about Ruby in the village. Okay, so in terms of actual tasks, I don't have a ton left. I'll get more, I'm sure. Hey, how do you guys feel about signing a petition?
Tequila Sunset.
Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around here recently?
Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys.
It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got laid in ages.
Don't want to give these guys booze?
The legend! He's back. And firstly, I got smokes and piss and a little speed to spice things up.
Time's cruel, Abigail.
Have you seen any women around here lately?
Abigail? Abigail, where are you?
Tell me about your friends.
Don't you fucking call her! Hear me? Abigail?
Cool.
Oh, Abigail.
Well, you've been a ton of help. Thank you. Do I have any booze? I do. I have booze I can give to the dude. Fine.
Tequila Sunset.
Sorry for being a buzzkill earlier. I'll supply the booze if you'll supply the stories.
Wonderful.
Here, I've got a potent Pilsner.
Not much, but it will do.
He grabs the bottle from your hand and uncorks it immediately.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Don't call Abigail.
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George. But around here, you already know.
It's not like they wouldn't get alcohol anyway.
I was once a reasonably high net worth individual. A founder/junior partner at a high-concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm.
Go on.
I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high-concept stuff.
That's all buzzwords and no actual product. Thank you.
I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane.
Wait, how many people did you have working for you?
22 full-time employees, an all-star team, a potentially historical set of individuals. Worrying about them often kept me up well into the morning hours.
Did the jogging help?
It did. With my trusty Sansariq tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit.
What happened?
One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
Hello, Sage. We have made much progress and need to speak to several people, and also we're looking for Ruby, and also we're not wearing pants. It's unfair, isn't it, Sage?
He's right. It's incredibly annoying.
That seems like what happens, Mage.
His eyes are clouded. His dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see. At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly.
How wet are we talking exactly?
Wet, okay? It was raining really hard. I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass.
Ouch.
Ouch indeed. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key.
You gotta be shitting me.
I wish I were, Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I'd taken the key to the office.
Okay, so what happened next?
I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on.
It's just a good day.
Them, especially since I was known to be one of the best.
Sir, did you ever buy edible lingerie and a strap-on? You seem like the type.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this.
Hey. Yeah, this is why you have spare keys. Keep a spare key with someone who you trust.
So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
Wait, is that it? I feel like there are some steps missing.
Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time. If there was anything else to it, I would have thought of it by now.
Why didn't you go to the authorities?
Well, At one point they came to me, but, you know, I didn't have any ID on me, so they tossed me in jail for 2 days. I can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen.
Correct, Josh. You do realize all of this is your own fault.
I don't remember you being such a dick before, Tequila.
He takes a slow, despondent sip from his bottle, then looks out across the bay toward the skyscrapers of La Delta.
That doesn't mean you're wrong, though. Anyway, that was all the tale one bottle gets you. Almost empty, this one.
Why do you keep losing all your stuff?
Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece lycra tracksuit?
Sir, do you just have severe untreated ADHD?
I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. But somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks.
You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with?
What was the name of your agency?
My agency, man. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was combining high art with the lowest forms of marketing. The color red, breasts, and oil painting.
I see no problems with this concept.
I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high-concept cultural incubator called Thin Air. The artists were happy, the clients were happy. I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing a new universal poetic language. But then it all went to shit.
Yeah, because they were trying to develop a universal poetic language. That's doomed to fail, I'm sorry to say.
If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
That's so high concept, I have no idea what it means.
I know. It was fucking awesome. Until I went on a jog, unleashing a cascade of doom that washed it all away.
What's up with the tracksuit?
What? You've never seen 100% lycra before? Go on, feel that primo material.
You really shouldn't touch it.
Touch it.
Pretty nice, huh? This might be one of the last of its kind. Should probably be in a museum, honestly.
Good God. It's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. You feel about 15% less human for having touched it.
I took mental damage from touching the tracksuit. Oh, this game is amazing. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. You feel 15% less human for having touched it. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, Summer, it's clear that there's a lot more to the story that he hasn't admitted to himself.
And then there's the smell. But you don't even want to think about that.
Wow, you're lucky. He never lets me feel it.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them anytime.
What about the other drunks?
My fellow members of the Union of Moribund Alcoholics? They're exactly what they look like.
Hey, tequila! You want to buy some speed?
No, thank you.
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. He's a cop, remember?
I thought he was a cool cop.
Don't call Abigail.
And this is Abs. So yeah, that's basically us. We drink together.
What's this about a lost jacket?
Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my Lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila?
You mean this jacket that I discovered on the boardwalk and had cleaned on a whim?
Nah, this isn't it. Found? That's medium concept stuff. Totally not my style.
So you're saying there's another lost jacket out there somewhere?
It's a big world out there, Tequila. A lot of lost jackets in it. Don't know why you'd think this could possibly be mine.
Hey, Doom Spiral. Ain't that the jacket you stole the other week?
Not on your fucking life, Rosemary. What's wrong with you people? Like I'd be caught dead wearing fawn, like some low-concept bicycle courier. Tell you what, Tequila. Why don't you just hang on to that one? I'll get another jacket someday.
Secret task complete.
At least you got a nice jacket for your troubles.
Have you got any more stories?
I do. But as you can see, my fuel tank is running quite low. If you catch my drift.
I am loving hearing this man's stories. I've got some sweet Commodore Red. I mean, I'm trying not to drink in this game anyway.
Classy.
He snatches the bottle and pushes the cork in through the bottleneck.
The tale I'm about to tell you is an urban legend particular to Martinez.
Oh, I'm in.
That said, I first heard it from a former bicycle courier in Koran.
I thought you didn't like bicycle couriers.
There are many variations on the basic story, and the details often conflict. What everyone agrees on is that nobody knows the exact nature or identity of the phenomenon.
Are you telling the story of the headless...
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. Summer of 44. 17-year-old Gertrude Hett is walking home from a late shift at the harbor. It's almost midnight. She stops for a cigarette near the canal.
The streets are warmed by a southerly breeze. The lights of a passing motor carriage bloom and fade in the distance. In the harbor's dark, her cigarette is a beacon, dancing alone. The image comes to you effortlessly, as though you'd walked the same streets yourself 1,000 times.
Our heroine finds herself enjoying the peace and quiet the canal provides.
He looks up to the skies as if searching for peace himself.
What she doesn't know is that her peace is about to be shattered. From behind her comes the clattering of hooves. Startled, she turns around, and what does she see?
A horse?
Well, yes, but it's the man on the horse that's of interest here. A man with no head on his shoulders, wearing a fawn tracksuit, searching for the legendary fawn cap that went missing when he lost his head.
Wait, I thought the headless fawn rode a bull. I don't remember having this, but apparently I have this figurine. Sage! Oh no.
I thought that he rode a headless pig.
The lieutenant says with a smirk.
Well, there are many versions of this story, the most peculiar of which has the headless fawn rider riding on the back of another headless man.
That's super spooky.
Yes. According to legend, young Gertrude Hett had to endure years of psychotherapy before she was able to look at a horse or tracksuit again. And she's one of the lucky ones. Gertrude Hett may have been the first to witness the headless fawn rider, but she wasn't the last. Oh no.
You know what, Sage? You keep living up to that name.
Tell him about the two feminists by the locks.
Fuck, Rosemary, they were dating. No one said they were feminists. Everyone always misremembering this stuff.
This wouldn't be the De Ponte Delgado case, would it?
What? You know it?
I read the case file, but please, go on.
Right. Early autumn of 46. Ula DuPont and Eva Delgado are fishing near the waterlock long after the sun has set. The wind picks up. A sky already dark now blackens. Water starts falling from above. The first cold rain of the season.
Hello, arse frogs.
Two women stand on a small outcropping of rocks. One of them is wearing a purple raincoat. Thin lines reach out from the rods into the sea. Small droplets start appearing on the surface with increasing frequency.
The women are caught in the downpour. They act quickly. Eva gathers the rods whilst Ula turns around to reach for the tackle box.
Don't turn around. Don't turn around.
When she sees something, her shriek is so violent that the residents of the nearby apartment building believe lightning has struck. But there is no lightning. Only a heavy downpour and the silhouette of the headless Faun Rider looming on the horizon. Ula makes a run for the shore, but Eva slips on a wet rock and disappears into the cold, cold canal with nary a sound.
Okay, that's just two people who were spooked and one fell into the canal.
Her body is never recovered.
You know what? A smart man would ask him, but a himbo is into the story. What happened to Ulo de Ponte?
Word on the street is that she, you know...
He makes a finger pistol with his right hand and lifts it up to his chin.
Gave herself facial deconstruction surgery. Real grisly stuff.
That part, at least more or less, corresponds to the case file.
See? Told you. Anyway, that's the story of the headless Faun Rider. Pretty crazy, huh?
Who was the headless rider before he died?
Well, Tequila, that's part of the legend. No one knows for sure. There are a couple of possibilities, though.
Hello, Lizard. I'm very glad you're here.
Some say he was an undercover cop who blew his cover and got beheaded by the vicious gang he had infiltrated. Now he rides, searching for his lost found cap, plotting revenge.
O headless brother, where art thou?
Others claim he was a professional jockey who veered off course during a steeplechase, ended up in somebody's backyard, and got decapitated by an exceptionally taut clothesline.
Even decapitation couldn't stop his commitment to the sport. Are you that committed?
Personally, I think he was just some guy who hanged himself from a really tall tree, and the fall was so violent that his head came clean off.
That can't happen.
Coincidentally, at that exact moment, a horse happened to pass under him, and his beheaded corpse mounted it, where it remains to this day. But then, no one really knows.
Marry cherry flavored sparkling ass water, obviously. Beg plain ass water, and kill sparkling ass water because sparkling ass water just tastes like TV static, but in an ass.
For some reason, this does strike you as the most plausible theory of them all.
I have to agree. Your theory sounds the most plausible.
Isn't it? All the pieces fit together perfectly. That's how I know it's right.
I'm glad you enjoyed that, Sage.
Anyway, to each his own. You want to hear any other stories?
Already seen some weird shit on this case. A headless jockey in a tracksuit fits right in.
Hard to argue with that, I suppose.
That's the reality situation for you. You think you got a handle on it, then blam! It throws some wild shit at you. That's why it's critical to stay well hydrated.
Look, that's true. Hydrate, chat. That's nothing. I've got an even crazier story.
Yeah? Why don't you go eat shit, Tequila? There's no way you know a better one than that.
What about the Col de Mama d'Aqua? It's a magical self-replicating sound.
I have to admit, that's pretty high concept. Still not as awesome as a headless rider in a found tracksuit, though.
Okay, whatever became of the headless found rider?
No one knows. Some say he stalks Martinez to this day, and can be seen near the canal when the clock strikes midnight.
Seen near the canal when the clock strikes midnight. Okay.
He won't, though, because it's just a stupid legend.
Aye, I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
Have you got any more urban myths?
I actually do have one. The strangest of them all. But I'll need to fortify myself before I can tell that one. Do you have anything to fortify old Doom Spiral? Tell me you got some story juice.
I don't have any on me right now.
If you find any, I'd be extremely grateful.
Be seeing you.
Okay, let's step aside for a second. I have something I want to talk about.
Oh?
I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style.
Oh? Sure. Sorry, is Kim gonna talk to me about my pants? My style? What about it?
It's, well, a little eclectic, don't you think? How would you even describe what you're wearing?
Superstar casual, click your tongue. Hell yes. Oh, we can probably look that up, Frogs.
Well, I can't say it doesn't fit you. Still, you might try branching out a little. You know the expression, the clothes make the man. The right outfit in the right situation can make all the difference in the world.
Okay, you're a sharp-dressed man. We could be style buddies.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, detective.
A warm smile.
Anyway, we should probably get back to the case. Let's go.
There was actually something I wanted to check. It's possible I haven't been able to figure out that I can get other people to sign the contract because I wasn't smart enough to actually figure out the contract.
Documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction.
Okay. Oh shit, my logic is bad, which I forgot. No, Sage, that's incredible. Okay. I'm gonna do it. I'm going to potentially save Scum. Because I need to read this contract so I can fuck with the contract. It's important. Also, I need to look at this photo. This is also important. Oh. Oh no, he's cute. He's got that kind of scruffy chic that works very well for certain people.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum.
Let's do this.
There is
Yes!
no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
That is awful. What are the ramifications of this?
Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this.
Which is the
After
point.
that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out.
Well, that's the point. Look, Kim, these people are gonna have to move away. Can we do something about it?
I should have seen it.
The lieutenant frowns as he reads over the document again.
Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone.
Oh! I'm not clicking that. I'm not clicking that. That sounds very dangerous. Trying to forge this with a -10. But now Kim has suggested that other people can sign it.
Tequila.
Yes!
Sunset.
Did you and your pals sign this document?
What's it about? I'll let my hand address the situation. Maybe you've heard. I used to be a very successful businessman. I've signed more than a few lease forms or whatever the fuck they were. Anyone's got a pen? The pro's gonna do it.
No, unfortunately.
I got a freebie when I purchased a whole carton of cigarettes. Smoke cigarettes, get a free pen. Deals don't come any sweeter.
They do. They do, actually.
The writing under the tiny crown logo reads, Royal Extra.
Thanks, Rosie.
He grabs the pen and paper from your hands and very carefully scribbles on the dotted line, Idiot Doom Spiral. I need at least 2 signatures on the document.
Hey, Abs. Hey, Abs.
Don't you? You call Abigail?
I need you to sign this document right here. It's important.
Don't call her.
His trembling hand catches the paperwork. He lays it out on his knee and starts writing slowly. The handwriting is almost ineligible due to his shaky hand.
Don't call Abigail. Great job, Abs. Nailed it.
You've done a great service to the village, to the RCM, and to Revachol.
Hey, guys. We're heroes.
About fucking time, man. I've done my duty.
Don't call Abigail.
You won't.
Thank you for your services, gentlemen. Should we go and mail these? I think I saw a mailbox on the plaza.
Mailbox, plaza, got it. Heck yes. But before that, I have other things to do. Look, there's nothing more important in my life than fucking with Everard's plans. Oh? Thing? There's a slit in the concrete here. A sewer? But I can't interact with it. The beams are splintered. The bridge didn't collapse on its own. Artillery broke it. Ah. Anyway, this is where the trap was.
The trap stands empty near the reeds. No insect sounds or movement around. Only the reeds' apprehensive hissing. Rain drips from the mesh of the trap.
Sage, that's such a cursed combination, given what we know about you. Release the locusts into the empty trap.
The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good. Now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
He doesn't want to, but if there is one more cryptozoological runaround, he must force the investigation back on track. This better be it.
Kim, I'm sorry, but also, I'm really invested. There we go. My brain said I must look more closely at the sign.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Step closer.
Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
Why do I feel like I know this place?
Indeed, somehow you knew it was here. An urban ruin gutted by looters that once used to consume money and dispense warmth and light. You felt it before, when it rained in Martinez, and you felt the cold of the rain. The feeling persists. It has been in you ever since.
Shivers is so weird, I love you. Could Ruby be in there?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack, in that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
Okay. Very low chance. But I'm gonna do the roll. Chat, do you want to boost me? Shivers is physique. So chat, do you want to boost my physique? Was it physique or was it psyche? I'm confused. I think it was physique for some reason. Oh yes, Mage, I made the awful call. %42 chance. That's not terrible. It was physique. I think it's because it's like physical shivers. Anyway, time to get snake eyes.
Suddenly, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead. No rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down or gone behind a corner. You only hear distant waves washing the coast. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb.
What was I even attempting to do here?
Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just standing there with your hands fallen to your side.
Well, I did get a boost, Josh, so I'm sure you helped.
Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas?
Surprise.
A prayer of sorts. To Rivershaw.
Third to the lieutenant. She could be anywhere. How do we find her?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least.
See, it was important, Kim.
And then there's the church. If I were a murder suspect, I would not hide in the most prominent building here. But who knows? Maybe she's reckless. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village.
And if that fails, if we don't find her?
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
He looks behind him at the dark red box crumbling across the chasm.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. Buckle up and raise your collar. This search is going to be wet and cold.
I didn't notice money here. Money? Bedwed Behead, Ancient Reptilian Brain, Idiot Doom Spiral, or Volumetric Shit Compressor. Well, obviously you have to fuck Ancient Reptilian Brain. It's got the best voice. I'm gonna kill Idiot Doom Spiral because I don't want to touch him, and I'll marry Volumetric Shit Compressor. What spot? That is an incredibly powerful sentence. Ooh, I'm getting rich. Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed it. I want to check out the church as well. Ooh. Buzz, hum. The electricity flows through the wires with audible power. This is not the right way to the church, is it? Moonshine, probably. Smells like tasty fermentation. Well, at least his body's been moved. This coin-operated viewer has been out of order for years.
There's some tear. An empty cigarette pack.
Oh, yeah. Nothing there was useful for the investigation.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Sage, I know exactly what the answer is, and it starts with cherries.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow. The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
Turn to the lieutenant. This is where Mr. Prybar comes in handy.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment.
There is a touch of guilt in his voice.
Fine. But I will break through the door if I need to. So how do I get across here? I can just walk around? Oh, I've been a fool this whole time.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat?
Huh?
Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder.
I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
You don't have to do anything.
I have a hat. I genuinely have one. I should, and I do, point at your hat.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan on staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
Your pulse rises. What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
Oh, you see, I'm not going for super authority though. Is that kind of language really necessary?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
Have you seen a red-haired woman around?
No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast.
It's a terrifying sentence. What's your name?
Estelle.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
And your surname?
Why?
She's not a suspect. Why indeed? Forget it.
Okay.
What's that device you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Nice. You could maybe bug someone with it. Wiretapping.
How does that thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Where did you get the mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium.
What's the Elysium?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Who I've heard someone mention before.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy? Sounds like a place for congregating homosexuals. Sir, you and Kim are both here. Wherever we are is a place for congregating homosexuals.
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Elysium going kind of person.
Hey, didn't Piss and Fuck the World mention Van Eyck too?
Is this a skull thing?
A skull thing? Man, you sound like 100 years old when you say that.
No, you don't. She's mistaken you for an old person. Say you're cool.
I get down.
I don't know what that means.
Grind.
I don't know what that means either.
Nor do I, but I have concrete evidence that I rock, in the form of a wrecked tape player and a completely trashed hotel room.
That's cool.
You're right. Time has deserted me.
Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps?
Actually, I had some non-mic questions for you.
Okay.
What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what is it you're recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
Wait, what happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What For?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
Okay.
Everything
Drugs.
checks out, sire.
Damn it. Damn it, drama. And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
The girl is cold all of a sudden. Very cold.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device. The thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish. Very useless all of a sudden.
Take this, you're cold.
Lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Give her your hat. Here, you need it more than I do.
Thanks.
You said it's supposed to be a music place? What is?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's
did,
really
Sage.
not going to be a Palaceum, that's for sure. Yeah, Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Stuff like what?
Music stuff, mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
I had some other questions, I
ahead.
guess. Tell me more about this music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become, like, a club for anodic dance music. Like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah.
She looks up she looks at the old wooden church up on the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek.
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for anodic music here. Not in a million years.
What is anodic dance music?
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Electronic instruments? Like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes.
So you want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right?
Yes. Why do you ask?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
I'll talk to them.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
Did you put the padlock on the church door?
No.
No?
Not really, no.
Show her the sticker in your ledger. So this isn't yours?
It's Noid's.
Wait, is this Noid a friend of yours? Have good sleep, Summer.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Why did this Noid person put a padlock on the church door?
To keep more weirdos from getting in. fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. It's got the worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about him, he'll tell ya.
Should you? Weirdos. Sounds bad somehow.
Enough questions about the church then. I had another question.
Go ahead.
Ooh. Empathy is psyche. Chat, could I request some boosted empathy? Well, some boosted psyche. I want to be empathetic to this girl. That's a good shot. Good night, Summer. Tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up.
The device is
Hey!
warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from
Thank
the
you.
batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
Yeah, you have to vote one up and one down, apparently. I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice feeling miserable. At your age, or at any age in this weather, waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended it to be better for you, but they failed. It's easier to live in their failure with this by your side.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It's not a childish fantasy. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you.
What is?
Nothing, if you got this. Don't be scared.
Okay, I'll stick to it. So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
He said eating me? There's nothing eating me.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
I guess there is something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
All these foreign people taking our jobs. No. I think it's the plight of the working class. I'm going full communist.
Oh, really?
The golem of capital runs rampant, smashing creator and slave alike. I fear the process is irreversible. This definitely doesn't have any application to current situations in the real world.
Wow. Social justice really matters that much to you. That's commendable. It really had you shaken up there. Are you sure that's it, though?
Yes, let us sing the So Taint anthem. No, that's probably not it.
No, it sounds like you just got chick issues.
Now that you mention it, I found these letters I thrown in the trash. They might have something to do with it.
Okay. Why'd you think that?
First, they had the faintest scent of chewing gum on them. I could still smell it under the shit.
Wow, man. That's pretty symbolic. Don't you think?
Yes, I found that to be very symbolic too.
Okay. What else?
They were written in a woman's hand, and oh boy did reading them make me not feel good.
There you have it then, chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she?
I don't remember.
Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her?
For her scent, and that's all.
Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you?
Come to think of it, the whore could have written them to her lover. Yeah, I'm sure. Why would I have reacted so strongly otherwise?
How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing?
Wait, what do you mean by selective memory? I think it's more about me getting so unbelievably drunk I completely erased all memory of this world.
Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot too.
You are too young for that.
It's obvious she's done more than booze.
Correct, but still.
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank.
What is this Königstein wank?
You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich.
Thanks for the bullshit psych thing, then.
You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten, though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
Yes, but it itches really, really bad.
Actually, that's it for now. I'm gonna go scratch.
Bye.
Yellow moss on these stones. They're probably stolen from someone's garden. Whoops. Pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect.
A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
Is this?
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
Push the eternite over.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Hey! This is someone's home away from home. Just like yours.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on! Get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
Squeeze in.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
No,
You
Kim.
go ahead. I'm too old for this.
No,
I'm
Kim.
actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
That's valid.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Smells like sweat and laundry detergent, plus a trace of ether. Repris-Lange. Engine starting fluid. Canisters filled with what appears to be water. The label says distilled. A pile of nasal sprays. Brand name Nosafed Ultra. A speaker, the big kind they use for live music. Yes, everybody! Post your best dances.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
An egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably anodic music. I will say I adore Egghead more than I can express.
Together with a Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Wait, how many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
There's no need. The place is pretty bad.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads! Burnouts!
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that! The word!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burners really are.
What kind?
The spooky kind.
What exactly do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that. Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I'll look into it.
All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
Giselle told me Noid put the padlock on the door. Why?
Oh, so you met her. Good, good.
He's not as glad as he would like you to think. There's concern in his voice.
I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
I need the key.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
The speed freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden, cool-infused move, tossing it in your general direction. Be the cool cop. Catch the key as it flies toward you. I do not want anybody to boost this. I want this to happen as it happens.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left.
Catch it.
Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly.
Bask in the glory.
The young man with ribcage-shaped suspenders looks at you, standing there, with a goofy grin on your face.
This is very important. There is good Kim art. Which I have retweeted. Because it's very good art.
The word august, used as an adjective. That's how cool it feels to be old and cool in the eyes of the young. Let's face it, you're near death, yet bathed in the golden rays of stately grandeur. Like a late summer's day. Like a daddy-o.
Sir, you are standing without pants in the presence of adolescence. You're not cool.
Like a tequila sunset.
Damn right. I am Tequila Sunset. Arriba!
Of course you are. It's too late to be a tequila sunrise now. There will be no sunrise. Not for you.
How long have those people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
How can you be sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
85% is not good enough when you're dealing with another person's physical well-being.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in like that.
Correct, it wasn't hardcore.
Me too. I shouldn't have that kind of power over another person. I'm not the one with the violence monopoly here. You are. I'm glad that key is out of my hands now.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
What exactly are these people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
You haven't even seen them and you want the police involved.
Well, there's also the machinery.
Go on.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
So you haven't actually seen anybody?
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
But you haven't physically seen anyone?
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
A woman. Red hair maybe? A Laurie woman?
Sure, why not? Yeah.
That's not
But
a
not
sufficient
really.
answer.
Brown hair. Old. Heavy, dark sides.
So which one is it?
What Noid said.
Ruby's gone. The woman is someone else.
What was that about something watching you?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
I don't.
Human means a predator.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
A crab man?
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
Crab, please.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior.
Are you sure there was a crab man? Actually, that's not the himbo answer. Ambush behavior. Crab man.
Crab man! Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
Can you tell me more about this machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
With a small surge of PEA, alertness fills you. As if to say, this is a dark corner. Look behind it.
Jacked up to some snuff station?
It means like one of those rich boy private radio stations, where you can listen to people getting killed on, then jerk off to it. Sick shit.
Not that we would know anything about that. Noid just likes to relay stuff. We're getting derailed here. In short, you can tell to Noid about the machines. He'll tell you more.
So how can you be sure they're burnouts and dopeheads if you haven't seen them?
Well, honestly, I can't. But I am.
Why not? Let's go with that.
Logic, please. I don't see a single thing wrong with that argument.
I'm 70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the technology fool you.
Alright, let's talk about something
Sure.
else.
What?
You mentioned some kind of ecclesiastes on the church? Who are these ecclesiastes?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
Before we go on, what do you mean by meteorin?
You know, of Meteo. Concerning Meteo.
Meteo?
Meteo, a country on Muindi. On the Muindi Isla.
And what is the founding party?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation.
And?
And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like made the innocentic system, no?
They sound like exactly the kind who would want loud anodic music in their church.
You're right, they do.
The Paracanassian Church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Paracanassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance!
Oh, Egghead, I am beginning to understand.
Love is hardcore!
Yeah. Luca, I'm going mostly himbo.
Unity! Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse!
He turns the volume up, then looks at you with a knowing nod. As if it's obvious you will now break into dance.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters.
No words, enjoy the beat, not your head.
Feels good.
Damn it, I wish I could dance. Oh, Sage! I guess love can be pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah, it can!
He's coming around. You're getting it.
You're right. How would the founding party be anything but enthusiastic? Dance music is about love, and so is the Paracanassian Church.
Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
His friend forms a fist with the screwdriver still in his hand. Provingly so.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
I'm not gonna do too much more here, because there are several things back on the mainland that I want to cover. How do I quick travel? How do I quick travel? I thought the map would help me quick travel. It does not seem to have done that. You can only quick travel from certain places? In fact, I've never successfully quick traveled in this game. And last time I played, I didn't even find the map. Not that one. Ah, there we go. Okay. First things first, let's mail out the dang letter.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front.
I knew we'd get to use this mailbox for something.
Yes, for sending mail.
Drop the white letter into the mailbox.
You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug, Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
Of course he is.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
But before that, I wanted to talk to Gart. Yeah, that's good. I just like calling you arse frogs. Because it's funny to call anybody that.
Wow. Just wow.
Oh.
I hope you really enjoyed yourself up there. Had a cathartic experience. Because for the rest of us...
I haven't spoken to him since my very successful karaoke.
That really sucked.
It's safe to say this is about your karaoke performance.
Fuck you. I have a vast soul and she will always come back to it.
Good for you. I'm not letting anyone up there again. Ever. Now what did you want?
You feel bad suddenly. You see the delicate loops of handwriting in your mind's eye.
I saw another thing at the whirling.
Great. I love those.
Kurt, what if I told you I got into the back room behind the blue steel door?
Oh, okay. Well, I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you.
I'm glad, Sage.
It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know what's behind the door.
Aren't you gonna ask me what's back there?
Okay, what is back there?
Skeletons. A mausoleum of the dead. Nothing. The black gaping maw at the end of time. But no, pinball machine.
Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean.
Why? Do you want to play a game? Because I might be up for a game.
No, I was just wondering if you found pinball machines there.
Thinking of turning this place back into a pinball arcade? I love that y'all are exactly the same.
No, but we could diversify the entertainment options, seeing as you've opened the door back there. The machine we have in the corner now is broken. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here. Other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble.
Sounds like he cares about the place. He's not going to be overjoyed to hear that it's part of the doomed commercial area. He should still know. You have to be forewarned about these things.
I have to warn you, I may have discovered that the whirling is part of the doomed commercial area.
What? Why would you say that? We're at a completely different address from that whole thing.
So he knows of the doomed commercial area and its address. He's thought about this.
The whirling is listed on the intercom outside as one of the businesses in Building B. You should get your wiring fixed. I tried to call and couldn't reach you.
I've been working here for a long time, and that intercom has never been used by the whirling.
Now, the whirling was once the East Delta Pinball Arcade before it failed. It's only a matter of time before the whirling fails too. No, I don't believe that. The whirling will escape the curse.
Does this look like part of a doomed commercial area? This pre-revolutionary tilework, these high ceilings, the nice rooms, well, most of the rooms.
I'm sorry, okay?
For 14 years, man. That's how long I've worked here. I've kept this place up through hail and through sleet. Fuck me, if some doom ghost...
He's done a fine job too. Though he's spoken of the place dismissively before, the hostel is actually very important to him.
You really care about the whirling, huh?
Yeah, it's slowly growing on me again. It's beautiful in its own way, especially for this neighborhood. I've been trying to keep it that way, even if it is part of the damn doomed commercial area.
You shouldn't be so worried about that label, you know.
I don't place much stock in the curse and so on, but the label frightens the clientele. Who wants to stay at a doomed hostel? Everything's doomed enough without that.
Who owns this place?
Some real estate management company. They never come around here, just collect money from afar. Honestly, I think some money laundering might be involved.
Hi, Crow. Enjoy your butt fries. Who named it Whirling in Rags?
Well, it sure as hell wasn't the real estate company.
It was you?
You look surprised. What? It's a great name, I know. Cafeteria managers come up with great names too. It's from a song.
Really?
Hail, Holy Queen, by the Ateneers. Hail, Holy Queen of the Sea. You're whirling in rags, you're vast and you're sad.
Good pick.
What about those other cafeterias you manage?
What about them? One is a basement dive frequented by chain-smoking communists. I can't tell you how sick I am of Kraz Mazov and Ignis Nielsen and all those old ghosts.
Yeah, Gart's actually cool, and yeah. He has, especially at the beginning of the game, he has every reason to dislike Harry.
He's hesitating, not sure if he should share this information with you. Encourage him.
And the others?
The other is a kebab cart. It's very successful in its way, but it's nothing like the whirling.
Well, good luck to you with this place then.
Luck has got nothing to do with it. I need to think about where I'm going to place those pinballs. I have a feeling they're going to help. So, if you didn't have anything else to tell me about my establishment, can we, wrap it up?
Klaasje, in room 3. She nicked the phone line.
Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building.
You have Lena. Lena's a good customer.
Yeah, well, she's not a guest, is she?
What? Did someone mention my name?
We were just paying you a compliment. And finding out a degenerate from room 3 nicked the phone line. Everything is okay here. Good thing that guest pays for her stuff on time. I'll forward her the bill and be done with it. Was there anything else?
There's a peephole in the wall.
What wall?
Upstairs, in the secret back room, right next to Klaasje's bedroom. I found it when I found the pinball machine.
I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting me know. I assure you, the whirling does not abide spying on its guests.
What a shame to fix such a good peephole.
Couldn't you keep the hole there? What if there's some hotties staying in that room? A wink? No, fuck that. I'm not a lecture.
I'll patch it up personally. Was there something else about the establishment? I hope not.
There was not. I wanted to speak to Titus about drugs.
The Coppernado is back. What do you want?
Guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade.
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 Kilos.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? We know Ruby was the driver. We know that's your affiliation with her. Detective, you want to deliver the coup de grace?
You're right. There is no local drug trade, except you.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. I know for a fact there's still plenty of drugs out there.
No, there aren't. Some little shit and his dad are doing speed. Who fucking who? The stuff's probably from Jamrock.
Whatever you've seen is peanuts. Look at the big picture, man. The place is a paradise. And all thanks to Hardy Boys.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself.
And what about this Ruby? Is she the 8th Hardy who runs this thing for you?
You sure do love long walks through Theory Town, don't you? Well, I'm thirsty now. Thirsty for beer. Got any less theoretical questions, Cobb?
No.
He doesn't let it show, but must be a little impressed. You've put a lot of things together, fast.
Good for now. Last thing is I want to talk to Kuno. That's true, Smage. I took care of the drug situation.
Alright, so you got Kuno's kilo. Here is how we do it. First, you give Kuno Kuno's kilo, then Kuno gives you half back. That's how we split it. It's the best way, street way.
Are you going to ask how I got past your dad?
Word on the street is, you sent your little friend in dressed as a hooker, distraction style. That's some sick shit.
That's not what happened?
Not a single muscle moves on the lieutenant's face.
Kuno wants to hear all about it, but first we split the kilo, then we shoot the shit.
By kilo you mean gram, right?
Kuno knows what Kuno means.
I'm keeping it. You don't need more drugs. You're 12.
Alright. Kuno knew you'd try that sneaky pig shit on him.
Tell him, Kuno!
Kuno's got brains. This shit doesn't surprise Kuno. So Kuno's gonna give you one more chance. Know this, pig. Shit is major.
Major fucking choice, pig!
Kuno won't take this shit lightly. The pieces are moving, pig. This is fucking domino shit.
Not like he thinks, but you can feel it. Somehow, this will change things.
I'm hoping for the better.
Tick, 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 tick. Decision time. What's it gonna be? You gonna fuck the Kuno?
This is staying with me.
Alright, alright. You fucked the Kuno. Everybody, Kuno got fucked by his pocket pig. Just when we getting our business on, the pig throws it all away.
I told you he can't be trusted! I told you! I told you he'd steal the shit!
Relax, see? We got plenty of kilo. Kilo underground, in the tree. This ain't about that. This is about you and Kuno. You mismanaged this shit. Now everything is fucked between us. Again. How are you gonna make this up to the Kuno, huh? Kuno believes in second chances. Kuno doesn't believe in third chances.
I'm not giving you drugs, child.
In truth, Kuno doesn't really believe there's anything you can do to make up for this. The damage is irreparable.
I looked around in there. It's not the easy life that you've got going on in that apartment.
The fuck do you know about Kuno's life? Kuno's got plans. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, they really did, Luca.
Yeah, we got plans.
6 meters underground, below piping from before the war, the collapsed remains of the Martinez storm drain system. There are 2 stolen flashlights with piles of batteries next to them, beside 2 bedrolls, in the dark and opening into the lower tunnels.
Oh, that's kind of depressing. Kuno, I met your dad.
Yeah? How the fuck are you still alive, pig?
Kuno, your dad is a half-dead alcoholic. He was sleeping under some clothes.
What? Fuck right. Kuno's dad was sleeping like a bum. Kuno told ya. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about anything. Fucking breaking and entering shit. That's nothing to Kuno's dad. You got lucky, pig. Kuno knew this. Kuno's fucking violent fiend dad's been drinking hard lately. Kuno knew you have a way in. Narrow window. Kuno window.
Stop acting tough, kid. You don't have to be scared of him anymore. Actually, I'm getting it for number 3. Whatever scary thing he might have been, now he's nothing.
Yeah, Kuno's dad is fucking nothing. Fucking coma shit, stroke shit. Kuno's dad is so fucking violent. He's had a stroke many times. Shit. Kuno's gonna have one too. Gonna be just like Kuno's dad. Speed shit, crime shit, fucking on the bed. Kuno's gonna go out like Kuno's dad. Revachol West style.
Stop saying all this sad shit, Kuno.
Because even she feels it.
There's a touch of grief in there.
Fuck are you talking, sad? Kuno's got hard shit, death shit, nothing shit.
You don't have to turn into that.
Get your fucking nun-ass out of here before Kuno fucks it dead. You think because you took Kuno's speed, Kuno's gonna sub like a turn into... Kuno ain't turning into shit. Kuno is that shit.
If he doesn't stop soon, he's going to collapse from exhaustion. He's red all over.
Kuno won! Oh, you won, Kuno!
He did not win. There is a crack in there now, and it's spreading across the face of his certainty.
There was a textbook with your name on it in the apartment.
Yeah, so fucking what?
It says Kuno, not Kuno. Kuno Derator.
Fuck are you talking to Kuno about that kiddie shit?
I like it. Kuno Derator.
He's trying to fuck you again.
Fuck out of here. Kuno knows it's fucking lame. That's why Kuno changed it. Kuno can change his name into anything. Gonna change my name into...
You can change your name into it. But you also don't need to be ashamed of that.
Don't change your name into that, Kuno.
There were tons of unpaid utility bills.
Fuck right there were. Fucking 3 years or some shit.
Let me guess. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about them.
Yeah, that's right. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about that electricity and light shit. Just wants to pound on people and drink.
That's no place to live in. You have to find somewhere else.
That's right. It's a shithole. Kuno's gonna move underground. Leroy shit. Ancient shit. Kuno's gonna live in a fucking catacomb.
Yeah, in a tomb, Kuno.
I did right not to give you the drugs. Let's conclude this.
That didn't change shit, pig. That only made things worse. Fucking social worker shit. It doesn't work, pig.
It doesn't work, Kuno. Only our shit works.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Yeah, you say that, but that's not true. Anyway, that is where I am going to end stream. Thank you all so much for joining me. This was incredibly fun, but then it always is. Disco Elysium is a great time. Let's take a look at who is live so we can raid. Lizard also cute, how dare. Ooh, Chen is streaming? Chen is streaming. When Chen is streaming, we raid Chen. This is the only rule of the universe. As I said, thank you all so much for joining. I should stream again on Wednesday, hopefully, where I plan to continue my Xenoblade Chronicles 2 playthrough. which has been heavily delayed, but you know, we'll get there. We'll see how things go. Yeah. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, or whatever time zone it is for you, and I will see you all around. Have a good one, everyone. Ciao.